Everything you need to know about the Vigo Dem Party. So sit back, relax, and watch from anywhere. Get ready for a chat with the chair.
I'm Joe Etling, Chair of the Vigo County Democratic Central Committee. Welcome to Chat with the Chair, the award-winning Chat with the Chair. And we are so delighted you could join us. Hope everybody is looking forward to a wonderful Thanksgiving with family and friends. I know that we are, and we're delighted you could join us. We've got a lot of things coming up here, and we have a very special guest here. I know everybody recognizes this young man, so if they don't, tell our viewers who you are.
My name's John Etling. I'm your older brother, in spite of my attempts to promote myself as your younger brother.
We need to talk about that for a moment.
I'm the agency director for Catholic Charities here in Terre, Haute.
We need to get that all introduction out. Speaking of that, though, you have done a very commendable job of persuading people that somehow you are the younger of the two of us. So could you tell our viewers how you've accomplished that?
Probably just by not acting my age in most social situations.
Well, you have been very successful, I might add, in how that you've accomplished that. And so again, most people have placed me as being much older than you are. So it's either my conduct or yours, and I'm kind of thinking it's your behavior more than mine. But that's, we each entitled to our opinions. So
Sure.
So as it is, though, you're doing tremendous work there. So tell again our viewers what it is that you're doing on a daily basis.
So we've got a great team at Catholic Charities. We've got really 4 service lines that really try and make an impact here in the local community and the surrounding area for a lot of individuals and families who are struggling, whether it be food insecurity, homelessness, it might be child issues, either after school care or pre-kindergarten needs. And then we, this time of year, we have a Christmas store program that operates and tries to meet some of those Christmas needs for upwards of 500 to 600 families here in the Wabash Valley. So our food bank program is probably our most well-known, simply because it's got such a wide reach and really tries to partner with about 85 different service programs, agencies in 7 counties to address the food insecurity issues of a lot of people here in our community.
Now, some of our viewers may not be aware of some huge things that have taken place with the food bank over the past several years. Talk to our viewers about that.
Well, the food bank has operated primarily up until about 2.5 years ago at 14th and Locust. And if you drive by that, that location now on the northwest corner, you'll see a new sign that's been put up. For years we had a food bank sign. It's now Catholic Charities. It's more in alignment with our colors, and this time of day at night you'll see it light up. Talks about really our tagline, which is to provide help, create hope, and serve all. So that's really kind of become one of our caring corners there in that neighborhood. But the food bank has now been relocated about 4 blocks south of that location, and really our physical address is on 14th and a half Street, so 430 North 14th and a half, and we've moved into a newer facility. It's gives us a capacity that's about 3.2 times our previous food bank footprint, and this really has allowed us to respond during a time that's probably been one of our greatest needs during the pandemic. It's really by just providence that we were able to move into that facility not quite a year before the pandemic hit, and since that time we've been able to move in excess of almost 6 million pounds of food in that pandemic year. which is almost double what we did at our best at the old facility. Most recently, we've added some security features. We're getting ready to add some more through a grant through Department of Homeland Security. We've gone to a barcoding system, which is allowing us to be even more efficient, more accurate in the orders that we pull. Saves us time during inventory and allows us to be more accurate. And it's also some other technology advances that we've been able to incorporate, and all of that has primarily been made possible because of local generosity and our affiliation with our national partner, Feeding America. Just a phenomenal organization to be part of, and really maybe one of our more recent accolades that I can share with you and the audience here is that back on October 8th we had our biannual audit through an organization called AIB. It's sort of the gold standard in our industry, and we achieved a score of 965 out of 1,000, which is the best score we've ever had, and really puts us in a very exclusive group within the industry, and that's all possible because of our leadership team and our committed staff that really never took a day off during the pandemic. We were operating every day without fail, and to so many of the pantries and partners within our service area, their dedication to make sure people in their community had access to food and just other non-food items that we're able to also move through the pipeline has just been really inspiring on so many different levels. So we've got a distribution coming up this Saturday, the 20th, that we've got 4 or 5 different partners that'll come out and distribute turkeys, as well as about 50 other pounds worth of food that's going to make the holiday season really possible for a lot of families here in the community.
Now, our viewers are going to be seeing this. That's going to have taken place this past Saturday.
That's right.
But as it is, talk about that event, because I know that it's a little different than what it's been in the past.
Yeah. So every third Saturday of the month, we've done this distribution going back almost 10 years now, and part of this is in a response to knowing that there's obviously within any supply chain, and we know what the country's going through right now, there's always a potential for a bottleneck or a log jam to occur. And about 10 years ago, we recognized that we had the opportunity at times to be the choke point. So we created a few different things. We started a mobile pantry program, and 14 times every month we go out to different communities in our service area that include places like Jasonville and Montezuma and Cayuga and Perrysville, Marshall, and we take upwards of 4,000 or 5,000 pounds of food to distribute to that local community. And these are communities that don't have a grocery store, even a convenience store in some cases. So we know that their access to food is limited. So we want to improve their access to food. In addition to that, we started what we call a bread and produce distribution. We did it for many years at our old location. When it went to a drive-through situation, we looked around and we didn't have the property to do this, so we partnered with the school corporation, and right there at Ben Franklin, which is just a few blocks away from our new location, it sets up really nice for a drive-through distribution, 2 lanes, and on this particular distribution, it's sort of our Thanksgiving turkey edition. Everyone's going to receive a 8 to 9 pound pre-cooked, boneless, deep-fried turkey. It's a Butterball brand, honey flavor, along with dressing, green beans, pumpkin, another assortment of other items, including even some Girl Scout cookies. We were able to get a truckload of Girl Scout cookies earlier this fall through Feeding America that didn't even cost us the freight charge. So these are all ways that we've been able to improve the flow of food through the local network here, our service area, and try and reduce that food insecurity rate.
And that event, and particularly the one when you're having around Thanksgiving, it's really eye-opening to see that. And of course, you've got it organized like clockwork. It's amazing. The people, and a number of those, of course, are volunteers that are assisting you from various organizations. Any particular shout-outs you want to give to those?
Yeah, so all of them, this, one of our first formal sponsors to our mobile pantry program has been Anthem Healthcare. But for this particular one, BNS Plumbing, the Downtown Rotary Club, and then we've found really one of our early volunteer groups that has showed up, practically every Saturday, third Saturday of the month that we do this, is the Terre, Haute South Key Club. Just some really phenomenal young people, boys and girls that come out at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning when a lot of high school kids that age would just as soon rather sleep in or do whatever. But certainly these are some of our, I think, leaders and professionals for the future that we can all find hope in. Their willingness to come out and do something for the benefit and really the life-giving component of others, I think speaks well to the character of those students and the families that raise them. So
that's great. Now I know that during particularly with COVID, that had been a lot more particular about the involvement, the number of volunteers. But with regard to our viewers, if they have interest in volunteering or in one of these events, how would they go about participating?
So you can either go on our website, which is just ccthin.org, or they can give us a call at 812-232-1447. The person they want to talk to is Rachel. She's our volunteer coordinator. We do have a rather involved volunteer process. There's an application that needs to be completed. There's a background check. Everyone has to go through this. And then particularly if you're going to work in a program, one of our programs that has children, there's a program that's called Safe Parish, and it really talks to the issues of child endangerment. It's about a 40-minute online program that you can, at the end of each module, there's a little test just to make sure you're paying attention. But we live in an age where when you see something, you have to say something. You just can't leave it for someone else to take care of. When children, seniors, anyone is a victim of abuse or potentially being harmed, it's everybody's problem, and we need to address that and make sure that especially children, those that are some of the most vulnerable in our society, are being looked after. So
I know around Thanksgiving a lot of focus on all the good work that you guys are doing with food and getting people fed, but of course there's so many other organizations or so many other groups that you are taking care of, and of course during the COVID and pandemic, I assume that there's been no playbook for how this has all had to play out.
Well, I think a lot of it has changed almost monthly, weekly, daily in some cases. We've been very fortunate. I think we've had just a few staff members that have either had to quarantine by contact. I think we may have had 2 or 3 people that have tested positive. But I think for the most part, we've asked everyone to seriously consider getting the vaccine on the basis that it's really going towards the greater good. We have a responsibility, I think, in our community, to protect everyone whenever possible, and this is just another way to do that. Certainly, there are individuals that may, for health reasons, not be in a situation where the vaccine is maybe safe for them. I encourage everyone to follow their doctor's direction in that regard. But I think for the majority of the population, the vaccine is safe, and it's going to protect you from certainly a more serious reaction to being exposed to the COVID virus. But I'm a scientist. Yeah, I'm a scientist by education, so I believe in the efficacy of the vaccine, and I think it's for most people it's going to be a safe thing to do.
We sure promote it here on the chat, but of course there's been such a high demand from so many individuals for the services that you provide. So I just imagine that during the pandemic it's even been greater, if that's possible.
Well, I think for the first 12 to maybe 14 months, there was a huge increase. Certainly, a lot of the COVID monies that went out to help families and individuals, and extra unemployment, extra SNAP benefits. That I think created a hesitancy for a lot of people to maybe continue going to the pantries, and we want to encourage people to continue doing what they feel they have to do, but certainly that food, and so much of it does come canned and in dry form, that there's no harm in stocking your pantry. I think that's one of the survival mechanisms that we try, or strategies that we try and promote within our partners, that you never know when that disruption in employment is going to happen, or a crisis is going to happen. We do know that those emergency situations don't wear a clock, so they happen when they happen. And I think anytime you can be more prepared, the better you're going to be. But certainly, there's a lot of people who unfortunately maybe have a more transient lifestyle. They don't have the ability to maintain a more stable, permanent residence that allows them to stock up on food in a pantry area of their house. So, but we still want to encourage people whenever possible, if they are able to do so, to keep that pantry stocked as best they can.
Of course, we're looking at Thanksgiving just a couple days away here, and needless to say, Catholic Charities has been synonymous with Share Your Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about that.
Gosh, I'm at a loss to tell you how many years it's been. It's probably close to 30 years now that we've been partnering on Share Your Thanksgiving. In fact, we had a collection last Thursday at Meadow Center. Second or third year in a row we've been doing it there. And it's really just a real tactile, tangible way for the community to participate by stopping by, dropping off either some perishable items, or making a financial donation. Both of those ways are just in some cases more meaningful to people. That transfer of food items or even funds. We've just got really a lot of leverage when it comes to buying food. We operate somewhere in the 25 or 26 cents a pound range between donated food, purchased food, USDA commodities food. We really do operate at a very, aggressive number. But we do all that, and as I mentioned earlier about the AIB audit, I think we do it at a very high regard for safety, food safety, and employee safety. We're just so much more efficient in the way we operate now. But along with that comes opportunities to be expanding our capacity too. We've been partnering now with Union Hospital on a maternal health care program to try and improve our infant mortality rates. We're looking at a program that's going to come online here over the next few months to put a greater focus on addressing some of the active and retired military needs, which is a bigger issue than a lot of people realize. And and really just to promote a more healthy lifestyle. Partnerships for a Healthy America. We've just signed an agreement with to give them access to our inventory for data analysis purposes, so that they can give us a grade in terms of the nutritional value of food that's in our warehouse, and we think that's going to give us an opportunity for us to make better choices, not just for the food bank, but for the pantries that come in. We like this good, better, best approach to making choices, and along with that, not just whether it comes to choosing a car to buy or a home to purchase, it also comes back to the food choices we make in life, and we just know that making better nutritional choices oftentimes leads to better outcomes.
Now, there's a lot of great charities and organizations that operate throughout the Wabash Valley, and of course we're a little biased here on the chat, but I know that repeatedly said to me from people who are donating financially to Catholic Charities that they really feel 100% that their contributions are making a difference in the Wabash Valley. That's got to make you feel awful good as the director.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we're certainly not perfect, and I don't know that perfection's even the goal. I think we try and get it right by trying to treat people with respect and dignity. I try and make myself available if there's conflict. My cell phone's not a secret, but I think it's important to continue to work towards making the lives of people who are struggling better. There's so many people that have found themselves in the situation that they are through no fault of their own. The economy's taken a tough turn a number of times. We know that we struggle with some of the educational needs for children and even adults in this community. Job training, giving people an opportunity to find help with mental health conditions. These are all important day-to-day crises for people. And, it's tough to focus either in the classroom or on the job when you're worrying about, how am I going to put food on the table tonight? Where am I going to be putting my head to go to bed tonight? We have people that sleep in cars in this community. And for a state that, benefits to the tune of about 27% of our state's economy through the Department of, well, not the department, but through the agricultural industry, we just simply shouldn't have people, going to bed hungry or waking up in the morning and not being able to access food just to get through the day. So, we're trying to be a conduit to stop that.
What have you brought here today?
So that's one of the containers that we use for Orange Friday. We ask people, before you go shopping on on Black Friday, to consider Orange Friday. And orange is the color that's used to raise awareness for hunger. And we will be in actually Basler's Market on Friday the 19th. That's Orange Friday. And for a $3 donation, they'll get either a sticker or a ribbon, orange ribbon, that they can put on their lapel or their blouse, I suppose. But $3 is the number that we can feed a family of 4 for a whole day. 3 meals.
Wow.
And that just goes to, I think, demonstrate the leverage, the buying power that the network of food banks has in this country. And, we're just in awe to be part of it, quite frankly. So we'll have T-shirts and other things that people can get, even if they just drive by and honk. But we'll be in the store. Bob's a great partner of ours here locally, and we think that a lot of things that we do has to include that effort to raise awareness. You can't solve a problem if you don't know it exists.
Now,
So
the rumor has it that the executive director may have gone to some length to really highlight that event one year by dyeing his hair orange. Is there any truth to that story?
I don't think there's any rumor there at all. Actually, one year I dyed my hair orange, and I think one year I actually had them carve the replica of the ribbon and dye that orange in the back of my head.
Hence why people think you're younger than me.
I've probably always been a little bit of a risk taker, but now I'm actually hair deficient. Just keeping it a little bit tighter these days, and
I see.
just less maintenance involved.
So no orange this year. Still early though.
You never know. You never
never
know.
know.
Keep them guessing, Joe.
That's the key. That's the key. So, talk to our viewers about any other projects that are upcoming from Catholic Charities.
Well, we have certainly Saturday. We've got the food distribution. We're also finishing up our participation in the NCYC over in Indianapolis, which is the National Catholic Youth Conference. They've actually scaled it back to about half their capacity from 2 years previous. Every 2 years they have this event. But there'll be about 10,000 young adults, young people with their chaperones at the convention center, and that'll all culminate in a mass at Lucas Oil Stadium. And then that night, Saturday night, we have our first ever Cheers for Charity event. This is to replace our annual dinner, which was normally held in September. We'll be on the campus at Rose-Hulman at their new dining facility there. And it'll be a wine and bourbon tasting event, along with hors d'oeuvres. Tickets are still available. We'll still have tickets at the door, I think, just a few, but VIP is from 6 to 7, and then the event will be from 7 to 10. We've got, I think, the Trib Stars last 2 or 3 consecutive years in a row, Bartender of the Year, making a signature drink this year for us. That'll be available to the VIP attendees, and we just expect it's going to be a fun, maybe a less formal evening, a little bit more free-flowing, but there will still be some video loops playing that talk about the agency and who we are and what we do, and just let people have that opportunity to interact with our leadership staff and just learn more about what we do and how they can get more involved.
That's great. And of course, all the proceeds are going to great cause.
All the proceeds stay here locally. We have, I think, done very well in terms of maintaining our mission through this whole pandemic, and really just trying to address the needs of people as they present themselves to us. So we hope to get more of our volunteers back in our programs. That's been a struggle. We have gone to in-person with all of our programming at Rives, at our Bethany House. One time we had, I think 4 or 5 times the National Guard. Then we have staff at the food bank for a while when we were really in the thick of things. But when it comes to things like food insecurity, even though some of the numbers have calmed down, and certainly the rate of the virus, those affected by it, have come down, we're still well above our pre-pandemic levels for people who find themselves in a food insecurity situation. So, we're still, fighting just as hard when it comes to trying to make sure we've got the diversity of product and the quantity that people need, those pantries, when they come in and need food.
Well, we need to set the record straight that I am the younger brother. We've got to get that clear, but I can state very clearly that one of 10 of the children, 9 siblings that you have, that we're all very proud of what you're doing, and I know that our mother, who's out there watching, is extremely proud of what you're doing, and of course she worked many years alongside our dad in those ventures to help people throughout this community. And I know people are sure appreciative, and we love her. But I know she's awful proud, in particular, of the things that you're doing and have done. And I know our dad is smiling down from heaven on all the great things that you've done to carry on. And I know that those were big shoes to fill for Mom and Dad and what they were doing to establish so many services in this community. I know I couldn't have done it, and there couldn't be a better person doing it than you, and you're definitely doing the Lord's work, and I know you feel that way, and that's how you approach it every day, what you're doing.
Well, I think, I think I do it on behalf of all of our siblings. We're all in this together. I just happen to be at the right place at the right time to be able to do this. And, when you've got your family behind you, I think that speaks well for your opportunity to be successful. And, we all look for inspiration. And certainly for us, growing up, Mom and Dad, and a lot of people within the community that really believed in what they were trying to create here was necessary. And I'm grateful that we have the generosity and the giving spirit within this community to help people. And I would just ask people to go on our website and learn more about who we are, so that when that situation, and we all come across somebody in our lives, maybe somebody we sit in the pew with, or someone our kid plays on the soccer team with, but somebody's going through a tough time right now, and it may be that it's food, it may be after school programming for their child, it may be they're 2 days away from being homeless. We just want them to be able to provide that individual with the information to contact us and let us see if we can help them.
And we were remiss if we didn't mention your lovely wife, Carol, and your children, who have all been tremendous supporters of you and volunteers themselves. And so we want to make sure we give them proper credit. In fact, we've got, they're not Girl Scout cookies, but they are parting gifts. So we want to make sure we send along some delicious cookies. And I want to make sure Carol gets one, because you won't share otherwise if I don't send two. So we're going to make sure that's taken care of. So enjoy that. And any final thoughts for our viewers?
I think just enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and pray for those that don't have somebody praying for them already. We have great capacity for compassion as human beings, and we're all a whole lot better than the dumbest, angriest, stupidest thing we've ever done. So, just keep those in your thoughts and prayers as we enjoy this holiday season, and God bless.
Well said, well said. And I know so many of you out there are saying, you guys have the same mother and dad. I know that's what some of you are saying, but it's true, we do. But we love him. John, we love you, and we appreciate all you're doing, and we'll keep praying for you. God bless everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. And until the next Chat with the Chair, I'm Joe Etling. Thank you for joining us. Take care. Good night.
DEMOCRATIC. Everything you need to know about the Vigo Dem Party. So sit back, relax, and watch from anywhere. Get ready for a chat with the chair.